Many women over 50 look in the mirror and feel that their hair is suddenly drier, flatter at the roots, thinner at the ends, and that strong color that once suited them now looks too heavy on softer skin. I have been in that place too, trying product after product and still feeling older every time I saw my reflection. Everything began to change when I started quietly observing the hair of French women my age. In the street and in small cafes, and I noticed how their hair looked soft, light, and effortlessly elegant, even with silver strands. From them I learned that beautiful hair after 50 is not about turning back time, it is about changing the way we think about our hair, and the way we care for it each day. In this audio I want to share with you the simple French, inspired secrets that have helped my own hair look and feel better at this age. Now let us move into the first secret. When I first started noticing more white strands in my hair, I treated them like an emergency. Each little line of silver felt like a warning. I rushed to cover everything with very dark dye. The darker it was, the safer I felt. I also forced my hair to be very straight. I ironed and blew it smooth until it almost did not move. In my mind, shiny and straight meant young, even if my face no longer matched that idea. Maybe you have done something similar. You sit in front of the mirror and the first thing you look for is the regrowth along the parting. You see a few centimeters of lighter root and feel that something is wrong. Many of us learn to experience our own hair as a problem to fix, instead of a part of us that can be guided and softened. Most women begin to see their first gray hairs in their 30s or early 40s, so by the time we reach 50, it is completely normal that our hair does not behave the way it used to. For several years my routine was based on fear. I chose the strongest color available. I booked salon visits as soon as I saw even a narrow line of white. I used high heat on my dryer and on my straightener because I believed smooth meant better. The result was hair that looked heavy at the top and tired at the ends. It felt dry when I touched it. Under bright light it did not shine, it just looked dark and flat. When I began observing French women over 50, I noticed something completely different. They were not trying to go back to the hair of their 20s. Their hair had changed and they allowed that truth to be visible. There was silver around the temples or through the fringe. The texture was often a little softer and less dense. Instead of fighting these changes, they seemed to ask another kind of question. How can I make this hair beautiful for the age I am now? They're not chasing the idea of looking 10 or 20 years younger. They were chasing elegance for this season of life. That shift in thinking changes everything. When you stop believing that only very dark and very straight hair can be attractive after 50, you suddenly have many more options. You can consider softer browns, gentle highlights, or even a graceful blend of gray and natural color. You can allow a little movement and wave without feeling that you look untidy. The biggest change for me came when I stopped hating my own gray hairs. At first, I still covered them, but I chose colors that were closer to my natural tone, and I asked my stylist to keep some softness and dimension instead of one solid block. Later, I allowed a few fine lighter pieces around my face so the transition between gray and color was smoother. My hair immediately looked less harsh, and my skin looked calmer. Emotionally, something opened too. Standing in front of the mirror no longer felt like entering a fight. I started to see my hair as a partner that was aging with me. When you look at your hair this way, the decisions you make become kinder. You stop asking how can I hide every sign of time, and you start asking how can I highlight what is still beautiful. So, I want to invite you to pause for a moment and notice the words you use in your head when you think about your hair. Do you call it a mess, a disaster, a problem? Or can you begin to say, my hair is simply in a new chapter, and I am learning how to care for it in a new way? This simple mental shift is the first French secret. Accept the age, acknowledge the changes, and aim to make this stage of your hair look as healthy and intentional as possible. Once your mindset begins to soften, it becomes much easier to change concrete habits. Instead of grabbing the darkest dye or the hottest tool, you can start to choose routines that support the health of your hair. And that is exactly what French women do day after day. In the next part, we will look at their second, seek the simple daily and weekly habits that keep their hair soft, full of movement, and quietly luxurious after 50. For a long time I treated my hair with a kind of panic energy. I washed it almost every day, sometimes twice if I went out and felt sweaty. I used strong shampoos because the feeling of squeaky clean made me think my hair was truly fresh. But as I moved past 50, this habit started to punish my hair. The more I washed, the drier my lengths became. My scalp felt tight, my ends looked rough, and I still felt unhappy in the mirror. French women taught me another rhythm. Most of them do not wash their hair every single day. After 50, many wash around 2 or 3 times a week. That slower rhythm gives the scalp time to produce its own natural oils, which are not the enemy but the best conditioner our hair has. Instead of attacking those oils, they simply choose a gentle shampoo made for dry or coarser hair and focus it at the roots. You can imagine the difference. Rather than scrubbing like you are cleaning a pot, you massage the scalp with your fingertips in small circles. You rinse well, but you do not strip everything away. On the days between washes, you can refresh the hair with a little water on your hands or a very light touch of dry shampoo at the roots if they feel heavy. You can ask yourself if your hair is truly dirty or if it is simply different from the way it was in your 30s. Often it needs kindness, not more soap. Conditioner is also part of this French style of less but better. They do not pour product everywhere. They concentrate conditioner or mask on the middle and the ends, where the hair is older and needs help. Almost every wash includes conditioner. Once or twice a week they use a richer mask and leave it on for a little longer. It becomes a small ritual rather than a chore, a few extra minutes in the shower or bath to breathe and be with themselves. I used to own a shelf full of bottles and sprays. Mousse for volume, cream for frizz, oil for shine, serum for split ends, and more. The funny thing is that my hair often looked heavier, not better. When I began to copy French habits, I chose just a few good products. One gentle shampoo. One conditioner that truly softened my hair. One mask that I used once a week. One light product for styling. Fewer steps, but each step done with intention. Heat was another area where my old habits were almost aggressive. I would blast my hair with the hottest air my dryer could give. I would pull it through a very hot straightener until it lay flat against my head. The result looked smooth in the short term, but over time my hair became more fragile. French women over 50 usually avoid this kind of punishment. They let their hair air dry until it is partway dry, before using the dryer on a moderate setting. They aim for hair that moves, not hair that is ironed into submission. They also make peace with a bit of natural texture. A soft wave is allowed to exist. A tiny bit of fuzz around the hairline is not a disaster. In fact, that touch of imperfection is exactly what makes the overall look feel real and chic. When I tried this on my own head, I noticed that people seemed to see me as softer and more approachable. Even though I had actually spent less time styling, my transition was not overnight. I went from washing almost every day to skipping 1 day, then 2. I lowered the temperature on my tools. I replaced 5 styling products with 2. In a few weeks my scalp felt calmer. In a few months my hair felt less like straw and more like hair again. The shine slowly returned, and the ends stopped breaking so easily. You might pause now and think about your own routine. How often are you washing? How hot is your dryer? How many products are sitting half-used in your bathroom? The French secret is not about perfection. It is about small, gentle choices repeated again and again. Once you begin to care for your hair in this softer way, you create the perfect base for the next French secret. Because when your hair is less stressed and more nourished, the right cut and the right color can finally shine on your face. And that is exactly what we will explore in the next part. The way French women choose shape and shade to make their hair look truly chic after 50. When I look at older French women, the first thing I notice is that their hair almost never hangs far down the back in a very long, heavy, dark curtain. You do not often see very long, jet black hair weighing down the face. Instead, their hair usually sits somewhere around the shoulders or a little above. It moves when they walk. When they turn their head, the hair follows in a soft, delayed way. The shape looks simple, almost casual, as if it just fell that way on its own. But if you look closely, it is actually very carefully cut so that nothing is stiff or bulky. For hair after 50, the French idea is to choose a length that does not pull the face downward. A medium-length cut lets the eyes and cheekbones be seen. Soft layers are used like a gentle frame. Around the cheeks and the jaw, the hair is slightly shorter so it seems to lift the lower part of the face. It is not a dramatic layered cut with sharp steps. It is more like a smooth slope that gives movement and keeps the outline light. For many years, my own hair reached well past my chest. I told myself that long hair made me look younger. But in photos, my face looked tired, and my neck seemed shorter. One day, after seeing yet another French woman with easy shoulder-length hair, I finally booked a cut. I asked for a length around my shoulders with soft layers around my face. When the hairdresser finished, I felt as if someone had taken a small weight off my shoulders, literally. My neck looked longer. My jawline was clearer. Even without makeup, my face seemed more awake. Maybe you have felt your own hair dragging your features down. You put on a nice blouse, but something about the heavy line of hair makes you feel older. You can ask yourself whether the length you have now really serves your face. Sometimes taking off just a few centimeters and adding soft movement around the face can make more difference than any cream or lipstick. Color is the other big French secret to chic hair after 50. Very few French women in this age group cover every single gray hair with an ultra-dark solid shade. They know that very strong flat color can look hard against mature skin. Instead, they often choose softer browns, beige tones, caramel warmth, or gentle cool shades, depending on their natural coloring. The aim is harmony with the skin, not total erasure of gray. Rather than painting one thick layer of color from root to tip, they blend. Thin highlights can break up a solid area. A few lowlights can add depth where the hair looks too pale. A clear or slightly tinted gloss can make the whole head shine without changing the shade too much. When gray hairs are mixed in this way, they start to look like threads of light instead of signs of neglect. From a distance, you notice glow and dimension, not lines of white shouting for attention. I used to choose the darkest box color on the shelf, because I was afraid any lighter shade would make me look old. The opposite happened. My face looked washed out, and every new gray root showed like a sharp stripe. When I finally shifted to a softer brown with a few lighter pieces around my face, something relaxed. My skin looked warmer. My eyes looked brighter. As the hair grew, the gray at the roots blended more gently with the rest. I no longer felt trapped by a strict timetable for retouching. You can think about your own color now. Is it very hard and flat? Does it match your skin or overpower it? Could a slightly softer shade, or a few very fine lighter strands make your whole expression look more open? The French way is not about being dramatic. It is about quiet refinement so that people notice your face first, and your hair simply supports it. When cut and color work together in this way, your hair becomes a soft frame for who you are today, rather than a heavy reminder of who you used to be. And once that frame is in place, there is one more French secret that holds everything together: the way they live with their hair day after day, so that it stays healthy and elegant without endless effort. That is what we will explore in the next part. When I started paying attention to French women after 50, I realized their hair did not look healthy only because of shampoo and conditioner. It was also a reflection of how they live. In France, many women still see a good meal as part of beauty care. On the plate, you often find healthy fats from olive oil, nuts, and fish, along with vegetables and whole grains. These foods give the body the building blocks it needs to grow stronger hair. When we eat almost nothing for long periods or follow extreme diets again and again, the body has to choose what to protect first. Hair is not essential for survival, so it is often one of the first things to suffer. It can become thinner, weaker, and more dull. French style is usually about balance. Instead of strict rules that cut out entire food groups for months, they aim for smaller portions and real food as often as possible. This calmer rhythm helps keep hormones and energy more stable, and that shows up in the scalp and in the shine of the hair. You might not see the effect in 1 week, but over many months, a kinder approach to eating can mean less shedding and a softer texture. The same spirit appears in their daily habits. Many French women walk more than they drive. A short walk to the shop or around the block is normal. This light movement increases blood flow, including to the scalp, and also releases some of the stress that quietly tightens the whole body. Fresh air and a slower pace help calm the nervous system, and when stress goes down, the body can send more resources to hair, skin, and nails. There are also small physical habits that protect the hair directly. French women often avoid pulling their hair into very tight styles all day. Strong tension on the roots can irritate the scalp over time. Instead, they use softer ties and looser buns or ponytails so the hair can rest. At night, many of them sleep on satin or silk pillowcases. This smooth fabric creates less rubbing on the hair, so there is less breakage and frizz by morning. I did not copy every detail of a Parisian life, but I did start to add a little French touch into my own days. I added more healthy fats and vegetables to my meals and stopped punishing myself with extreme diets. I paid more attention to sleep and tried to let my evenings be a little quieter. I stopped wearing very tight hair bands from morning until night, and I switched to a softer pillowcase. None of these steps felt dramatic on their own. After some months, though, I noticed real changes. My hair felt less brittle at the ends. My scalp was less tense. My skin looked calmer, and my energy through the day was more steady. It felt as if my whole body was supporting my hair, not fighting against it. You can choose 1 or 2 of these ideas and gently test them in your own life. A small daily walk. A little more olive oil or nuts on your plate. A looser bun. A smoother pillowcase. These are quiet changes, but they are part of the French secret as much as any cut or color. And once your lifestyle begins to support your hair from the inside, it becomes much easier to maintain that soft, elegant look that French women are known for. From there, the final step is to turn these ideas into simple routines you can repeat without effort, so your hair can stay beautiful after 50 day after day. In the morning, I do not wash my hair again. I simply loosen it with my fingers, shake the roots a little, and let it fall naturally. If some parts look dry, I add a tiny amount of cream to the ends or a touch of product at the roots for volume, but I keep it light so the hair can still move and look soft through the day. In the evening, I remove clips and bands, then brush very gently from the ends up. So I do not break the strands. If my hair is long enough, I tie it in a loose ponytail or a loose braid, never tight, so the roots can relax. And even on lazy nights, I still try to do at least one small action to protect my hair before sleep. Once a week, I choose a quiet moment and turn it into a mini spa for my hair. I wash with a gentle shampoo, massage my scalp, sculpt slowly, then apply a nourishing mask on the middle and ends and let it sit while I breathe and relax. So when I rinse everything out, my hair feels lighter and smoother, and I feel more calm and connected with myself. Now, you and I have walked together through the main French secrets for beautiful hair after 50, a softer way of thinking that does not try to hide age, but makes this age look beautiful. Simple, gentle habits that care for the hair with less, but better, and cuts and colors that lift the face and respect your natural gray while still feeling chic. supported by a calmer lifestyle that feeds your hair from the inside as well as from the outside. This week, you can choose just one French secret to test in your own life. Maybe you wash your hair a little less often and treat it more kindly. Maybe you book a shoulder-length cut with soft layers that let your face breathe. Maybe you talk with your hairdresser about a softer brown that blends your silver instead of fighting it. Or you change to a smoother pillowcase or add one food that is good for your hair to your plate each day. One small change is enough to begin. I have also felt confused and discouraged by my hair after 50, but these small French-inspired secrets have helped me look at myself in the mirror with a gentler eye. If I can change step by step, then you can too. Your hair after 50 can be truly beautiful in a mature and elegant way that belongs only to you. And if this audio has been helpful for you, please like this video, share it with another woman over 50, and subscribe to the channel so you do not miss the next gentle French inspired hair lesson. Thank you for spending this time with me, and I look forward to being with you again in the next video.